There's a specific kind of quiet that settles over you when you return to a game you thought you'd left behind. Not the silence of forgetting, but the stillness of recognition. Like walking into a childhood home years later and finding the light still falls through the windows the same way it always did. Bloodborne has that quality. When you boot it up today, even on the same aging hardware that it launched on, it doesn't feel like you're playing something from the past. It feels like you're stepping back into a place that has simply been waiting, patient and unchanging for your return. We throw the word timeless around carelessly in gaming discourse. We use it to describe games that still look good, games that still play well, and games we remember fondly. But timelessness is something rarer and stranger than visual fidelity or tight controls. It's not about a game aging gracefully, it's about a game that seems to exist outside of age altogether, that creates a space so complete and self-contained that the standards and fashions of the medium seem to slide off of it like rain off stone. So, Bloodborne is timeless not because it has avoided obsolescence, but because it was never in conversation with the trends that would have made it obsolete in the first place. I've been thinking a lot about this lately, about what separates the games that linger from the ones that fade, about why some experiences burrow into your memory and take root there, reshaping the way you think about what games can be, while others, even excellent ones, dissolve like morning fog the moment you step away from them. There's no simple formula. It's not about innovation or ambition or even quality in the strictest sense, because some of the most technically impressive and creatively daring games that I've played have almost left no lasting impression on me, while others, which are rougher, stranger, and more focused, have stayed with me for years. Their atmospheres and rhythms embedded so deeply I can conjure them up just by closing my eyes. So yeah, needless to say, but Bloodborne is one of those games for me. Now, it's not just about the atmosphere or the gameplay or the art direction, though all of those things matter. It's something about the totality of it, the way every element serves a singular vision with such clarity and confidence that the game feels less like a product and more like a place that existed before you arrive and will continue to exist after you leave. And that, I think, is what timelessness really is in games. The creation of a world so internally consistent, so committed to its own logic and tone, that it achieves a kind of permanence. Yharnam doesn't want you there. That's the first thing you understand, maybe before you even consciously register it. The city is hostile in a way that goes beyond the mechanics of enemy placement or difficulty curves. It's hostile in its architecture, in the way its streets twist back on themselves like scar tissue, in the way every shortcut feels less like a mercy and more like a begrudging acknowledgement that you've earned the right to suffer more efficiently. The sky is wrong, the air feels thick, even the NPCs who aren't trying to kill you speak to you through locked doors, their voices muffled and suspicious as if the very act of human contact has become too dangerous to risk. This isn't a world designed to make you feel powerful or heroic or even particularly welcome. No way, it's a world designed to make you feel small, lost, and profoundly out of place. And yet, you keep going. You keep pushing through those narrow streets past the burning effigies and the howling mobs. You keep going because Bloodborne understands something fundamental about what makes exploration feel so meaningful. And the thing that makes it feel so meaningful is that, well, mystery sustained is more powerful than mystery solved. The game gives you just enough context to know that something terrible happened here, that the hunt you've been drawn into is both older and stranger than you first understood, but it trusts that you'll piece together the rest. There's a moment that happens in every Bloodborne playthrough, usually somewhere in the early hours, where the game's combat system clicks, not in the sense that you've mastered it, you probably won't master it for a long time, but in the sense that you finally understand the rhythm that it's asking you to dance. You stop playing defensively, you stop treating every encounter like it's a puzzle to be solved cautiously, methodically, and you just start playing aggressively. You might even start playing desperately, committing to attacks even when every instinct screams at you to back away. You learn that hesitation is death, that the game rewards momentum and punishes caution. It's a small revelation, but it changes everything because suddenly the game stops feeling punishing and starts feeling exhilarating. The combat becomes a conversation, a back and forth of risk and reward where every decision carries weight but nothing feels unfair. It's at this point where you're not fighting against the game anymore, but you're fighting within it. You've learned the language, you've internalized the logic, and you've, well, become a hunter. I'll just never forget playing Bloodborne for the first time, coming straight off of Dark Souls 2, and feeling this almost like bestial transformation from within. I went from being very timid and afraid in every single fight to becoming this hyper-aggressive, bloodthirsty, well, hunter. I've spent a lot of time thinking about how games communicate through their systems, about what we learn from the way a game asks us to interact with it. Bloodborne teaches you to be aggressive, to press forward even when you're hurt, to reclaim your lost health by attacking rather than retreating. It teaches you that safety is an illusion, that there's no truly safe distance or safe strategy, that often your best chance of survival is to stay in close and keep swinging. And in teaching you these things, it's also teaching you something about the hunters of Yharnam, about what kind of person would willingly take up this work, and what kind of mindset it requires. The mechanics and the fiction aren't separate. They're two expressions of the same idea, two ways of communicating what it means to be in this place doing these things. You know, it's so funny to talk about Bloodborne. I mean, it's been over 10 years since it came out, and yet, even after all this time, the game genuinely feels fresh to me still. It feels fresh for so many reasons, but I think one of those reasons is that, well, it's not speaking about anything that's going on in our modern day. At least I'm not picking up on that. It just feels like I'm genuinely playing a great game for the sake of it just being a great game in a unique world with a unique story without any outside real-world interference affecting it. This is why, whether it's 2015 or 2025 or 2035 or whenever you decide to play Bloodborne, you're still going to get that timeless, unique, amazing, mind-blowing experience. I just hope that this game gets a remake or a remaster. I mean, we've been saying this for years, and we'll continue to say it. The hope will always be alive for me because Bloodborne is easily one of my favorite games of all time. It's one of the rare few games that when I play it, I'm not thinking about the outside world. It has this way about it that just sucks me into it and just blocks everything out. It's got this way of making me feel like an absolute beast when I dominate a boss without taking a hit. I mean, I'm no pro at these games, but I do have my moments. It's got a legendary soundtrack that I still listen to this day. The game isn't perfect, but this video was not designed to be critical about Bloodborne. This video was really designed to deliver some catharsis. And I was also triggered by someone in the comments. They were talking about playing Bloodborne still, and just me seeing the word Bloodborne triggered me enough to drop all of my other video ideas and just make a Bloodborne video, so here you have it. These are some of the reasons why I feel Bloodborne is timeless, but now I want to know what makes Bloodborne timeless to you. Let's have a conversation about it in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching the video. Give me a like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Have a good one.